Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 25th of January. So what we've got in store for today then, news-wise we've got very little. We've got Davos starting actually, and I guess there's plenty of speakers, but what they're speaking of may not directly affect the markets that much. Talk about digital currencies and things like this on the agenda today. Aside of that, we've got ECB President Lagarde speaking twice, once at Davos later on in the afternoon at 4:15 and once this morning at 8:45. But the title of her presentation this morning is due to speak at a virtual event hosted by the Institute for Law and Finance. So, well, you never know. She may say something there, but I'd be surprised. Anyway, so there we are. Quite a day ahead, really. Some very low-level data coming out at 9 o'clock and throughout the day, but I don't expect any of that to really have any effect on these markets. So let's look at them technically, starting off with the euro-dollar. And the euro on Friday, it just pitched its head through the daily 34, which 34 can be a pain sometimes, and if you're long, that is. But we've seen a little move up this morning. It's quite early days. In fact, Friday was the smallest day we'd had for a long time, at about a 30 pip range, I think it was. I measured. It seems to be on the road to nowhere. Now we might see some movement. I'm just waiting to see what happens this morning, see if we can actually get any sort of setup. But certainly, it didn't give us a lot of clues from this wedge pattern that was sort of being formed on Friday. It's erred towards the upside here. It would have broken out the trend line across the highs here to the upside. It could still spill over. It's right into its daily pivot above. Target wise, it could just chip into that daily R1 and roll over, so we could see a double top. As in a light days trading, it could be quite confined, although the way I'm looking at this at the moment, the fact it didn't sell off on Friday, I'm sort of erring towards the upside, but that's all. The pound, I'll probably see the complete reverse of that now. The pound, well, that also, we've seen a little dollar weakness right the way through these markets. I'll say that now, because we're seeing the pound push up a little bit this morning, continuing its bounce here off that 4-hourly 34, and it seems okay-ish at this stage, but we've seen the shooting star before this candle. We can get it into a right old bony area where we're just sort of seeing price just pulling back to the center. We'll see how it goes, but in the short term here, or intermediate short term here, it's got a higher low in, and it's erring towards that more bullish side on the pound at the moment. Dollar yen, let's have a look at the dollar yen at the moment then. So the dollar yen, well, really continuing with these lower highs in the main on the top of this. Any continuation to the downside here, I'll be looking for that mean level as it pushes through. You see it on the hourly for the lower highs, lower lows running through that 4-hourly. Sorry, I meant to say 4-hourly, not hourly. Looking at the very short term here, well, it's already through its daily pivot. Any retracement might offer a sell point on it. Not massively convinced. It's moved so little over the days in general. Again, very small mover on Friday. Aussie dollar, just really looking for some sort of inspiration of what to trade this morning. As I say, the euro to the upside is probably the best opportunity at the moment. This Aussie dollar, it's sort of got this larger sort of flag wedge sort of pattern that's sort of sitting across the highs here on the dailies. There's an obvious downward trend sitting in that at this stage. A break of that could see the markets being a bit more bullish. We saw a bit more bullishness following through in the later part of the week, like midweek rather, only to sell off and stall on Friday there. It's trying its best at the moment, but these lower highs, lower lows sort of pattern seems like, well, we may just sit in that and continue. So not a lot going for the Aussie at this stage. The Canadian dollar is staying within trend again. It's held back there at the moment, selling off away. So maybe the short side post later on in the day, more sort of swingy, but maybe looking back towards these prior lows, maybe even further. But look like it could be on there. So big flag pattern at the moment. Alternative here on this Canadian dollar, if it does break through that weekly pivot at 27.07, maybe is an opportunity on the longer side. But at the moment, it does look like it's strengthening against this US dollar, which is, as I say, slowing away at the moment. Okay, New Zealand dollar, I saw a comment on somewhere at the moment. Let's have a quick look. It's just trying to pick up as well at the moment. It was sold the previous week, late part of the week, managed a reasonable bounce. Didn't sell off quite as badly the end of the last week. Certainly Friday it just consolidated where some of the markets were selling a little bit off. At the moment, looking well, a break of this sort of area, but here about 72.28 sort of area would give us a more significant higher low. I don't have to wait this out. It's not even caught. Has it caught its daily yet? Oh, it has. It's through its daily into its R1. The hourly doesn't look quite so good for it, but maybe there's more upside in that New Zealand dollar as we go through the earlier part of the week. Right, nothing much else on that. It's certainly from, as I said, on Friday it left us in a bit of nowhere land. The S&Ps is just getting a bit of a bite this morning. It's just come out a little bit here, and look at these. We on Friday managed to put a little hammer in there, or a hanging man, whichever way you look at it. It could be bullish, bearish from that signal, but the overall picture here still is high lows, higher highs on the 4 hourly, and well, there's the shove up towards the Sunday night. Actually, it got another shove up. It shoved up a bit earlier in the afternoon on Friday, but managed to sell towards the end. But either way, it still looks like it's got potential to the upside. Gold, well, it's just consolidation. It's really struggling to see too much out of this move at the moment. It seems to be in a bit of a range, and well, it's got a bearish signal. Then I'm maybe turning around to become a bullish signal. It's certainly a mixed bag there on the gold. Okay, and oil. Still wonder if we'll see more downside, and it's catching a bit of a bid at this moment this morning. I think it's maybe too early to jump aboard any shorts, but as I said, I'm still quite pessimistic on the price of oil running in the first sort of couple of months, but it's holding up pretty well at the moment, and just look like it's broken the trend across the lows there, or just on the trend of the lows there. But with China, apparently China's closing down areas again, and COVID wise, and that could have a knock-on effect of oil eventually. So that's pretty much it there. Just a quick look of what's happening on Bitcoin. I may just check this out on a different chart, but we might get something. I've got the futures chart here. Unusually, I'm just looking on daily chart. It's had a couple of updates over the weekend. I say unusually, perhaps it's just to be different, but it's just pulling back a little bit. This is the futures chart of Bitcoin, so it's not quite the same in terms of price levels, but still really in this sort of short-term downtrend, but overall consolidating. It did drop down quite low for a while on Friday. They're just breaking that sort of 30,000 area. But still, it's just a matter of time, I think, before it pushes up. But it may just see a bit more of a retracement the way it's going at the moment. It has confirmed a lower high by breaking the low here on Friday. That really sort of spoilt things a little bit for it. But to say a bigger term outlook for it, I'm still quite bullish on it, but there we are. Okay, that's pretty much it for the day, unless there's anything else. I'm just looking through other markets. That's actually about it for me for now. I wish you a great day. I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now.